Hi everybody, thank you for joining me. This is Living Divinity. So recently I posted on the community page a post regarding karma. So I just jotted down a few kind of what ifs. Maybe something, one of these might be something you have gone through or you know someone who's gone through it. It's making the choice that's right for you. So, let's see. So I pulled out some cards out of Miracles Now. So the qualities I dislike in others are disowned parts of my shadow. So when you go through some changes, right, and you decide, well, that used to be me, and I didn't like how it might have impacted others, or how it ultimately backfired for me, or how I allowed things that weren't right for me to get in the way. So again, this could be someone you know, this could be you, this could be someone who you've seen gone through it. Okay, so for example, someone who has a shyster behavior, right? Maybe they weren't taught to respect their mother, like say if it's a man, I guess, or a woman. So let's just keep it as a man, okay? So a man who is not raised to respect their mother. Maybe they've asked their mom for money when they really didn't need it, or maybe they asked their mom for money and they used it for something other than what they were explaining that was needed. Now this could be mom or dad, and it could be man, girl or boy, man or woman, okay, as the child. So, or it could be boyfriend, girlfriend. All right, so to clarify, if I was a woman and I married a man who at the beginning seemed like they honored their mother, because that's probably a characteristic that we're looking for, right? We're looking for a man who honors and respects their mothers or their sisters. And that should be an indication that they would give you that same energy, right? In any event, so I marry this man, and he seems genuine, and he seems like he loves his siblings, girls and boys. He loves his parents, mother, father. But you get into the relationship, you have the commitment, you decide to marry them. All of a sudden you see their shysty part of them. Oh, well, yeah, I borrowed $500 from my mom. Maybe your spouse is telling you that. And I told her it was for rent, but really I want to get my nails done, and I want to buy this outfit over at Macy's, and I need to buy makeup. So already, and that would be a woman doing that, right? Hopefully. Anyway, so the man would have to make a choice, really, and it's only $500, and it's the principle of it, right? The principle is, don't ask for something and use it for something else, right? That's a basic principle of respecting when you are asking one of your parents to help you out. That's just a small scale, okay? You have to use your own discernment. Now, if the person I'm with is going to take advantage of their parents that they love so much, what and where and how will they take advantage of me? That would be a normal thought process. So, there's people who have gone through that on a bigger scale, where they married someone and their mother-in-law had built a wealth, a fortune. And so the husband kind of put something out to his mother saying, help me do this, right, Mom? Whatever. And so they built this big, lush property. But then the wife says, hey, we have to pay this back to your mom. And the husband's saying, Mom can wait, Mom can wait, Mom can wait. Well, the wife has she's either going to hold herself at a certain amount of integrity to not be pulled into this what could turn into a spiraling in the negative. So she has to make a choice. Well, he's choosing not to do right. I can't stand by his side. He portrayed it to me that he was maybe God-fearing and God-loving. Maybe, cherishing his mother and appreciating all the hard work she did. Okay, but he chose to be greedy. And so she either has to go in all the way with them, or she has to step aside. And this is actually a true story. And she stepped back. She stepped back and said, I will not have any part of this. And she took control of her own life, and she left that situation. Granted, it would have been a life of wealth, but having guilt to go with it. And, sometimes people do that, and it's a choice that we all have to make. So always, I know this is saying that I have these qualities that I disowned, and I'm not trying to imply that I was a shyster. I've seen where other people have been shysty, and I saw a lot of wrong in it. I actually had my real estate license, and I had 7 settlements my first year, and the broker called me in and asked me what my secret was. I was like, I don't have a secret. I said, I treat people like I would want to be treated on the other side. I want to give them information, just because someone calls you and wants to list, you don't just go there and say, okay, let's list it, and do the numbers and see what the house could or the property could be sold for. You always want to give them options. Are you sure this is what you want to do? Have you thought of refinancing? Have you thought of renting? Have you thought of leasing? You want to give them all the options so that they can move forward and choose right for them. So let's see. So another thing regarding karma. All right, so I actually have a lot of karma that was left to my generation. And some of the karma was, my grandparents, I think, did very well, but, their children maybe didn't do so well, or I don't know how to explain it, but for my particular bloodline, I seen that my father was abused, so he abused a lot of my siblings, especially the older ones. So when the older ones, there came a time when the older ones had to take care of the younger ones. The older ones had responsibilities in the house. Actually, we all had responsibilities, but the older ones had more responsibilities. And but the abuse of my father abused my oldest brother. My oldest brother abused his little sister, and so forth and so on. And this trickled all the way down into the next generation. And it just wasn't balanced. I see in my family that when my one sister died, her children were put through the ringer, and they didn't do anything, but they were blessed to be born by my sister, but they were taken out of their home, and I don't even know if they had to live in the car for a while or what, or how long it took them to get another place, but it was just a tragedy that I lost my sister, and it was a worse tragedy that her children had to leave the home. And it goes back to the abuse from my grandmother and my mom on my dad's side, who didn't care about anybody but her feeling the power over my dad. And then my dad instilled fear in a lot of my siblings. And when it got to the part where they had the power, they didn't care what these other people had to go through. And I had to learn a lot. I had to really see who the people around me were on my chessboard. I think it's in the which one is it? Is it the Archangel Power Tarot cards or the Akashic Tarot? Anyways, one of them has a chessboard, and it says, you are the main player in your life. This is the game of your life. Who are the people that are on your side? Are they really on their side? Most people have their own agenda. They might say they're on your side, but they're on your side because maybe you're the one that pulls all the power. Maybe you're the one that people gravitate towards. So if they can be on your side, if they can get you to choose what they want you to choose, then, well, I have this in commitments. So if you've made a commitment to yourself, right, to treat yourself good. Let's see, I have another card here. So just put that however it resonates when I put a card down, okay? But so if you decide, I'm going to take care of myself now. I'm going to stop being a people pleaser. I'm going to stop giving so much, because I give and I don't, as soon as I give it, like I want to give it, but I know that as soon as I give it, I'm going to feel empty. I'm going to feel like, well, I really know they're just using me, but if that's what it takes for me to fit in, then that's what I'll do. No, you stand in your truth. You stand up for what you believe is true, being true to yourself. Let them pick up their own pieces. Maybe you were put in a position where you were the helper. You helped anybody and everybody with anything that you could possibly help, right? It's like when I was growing up, I always wanted to help my grandpa out, and when he was working it's like a 1/4 acre lot of all of his summer crops, and he would let me help for about 10 minutes and then tell me to go in the house. But when it came time for me to, well, I lost my mom when I was young, and then my dad actually killed someone, and before he actually killed that person, he was disconnected from our family by his choice, I guess. And so I hadn't seen him since like 8th grade. So my mom died when I was 7th grade, and in 8th grade, I became not associating with my dad by someone's choice. I wasn't really my choice. It was a wall built between my sisters and my dad. But and then my junior year, my dad ended up killing someone. But that was another one of my sections, was if a parent kills someone, right? Automatically when you meet that person, right? That person you think that you love or feel that you love, maybe you actually do love them. Maybe you are totally in love with them. Okay, so then you're thinking, oh gosh, her dad killed someone. Then if he wants you to meet his parents, oh yeah, well, the parents are naturally going to ask, well, where's her mom and dad? Are they still alive? What do they do? Blah, 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 blah. And then, it becomes a red flag. Well, if her dad has the capability to kill, like to lose his temper and kill, she has 50% chance of that. So automatically that's a red flag saying, hey, you shouldn't get married to her because her dad killed someone, and if her dad killed someone, she could kill you, or she could kill somebody. When in fact, that moment of a choice to kill, that's not. I would say it's in the bloodline for everybody. Just because your parents didn't kill someone or your grandparents didn't kill someone, doesn't mean that if you are put in a certain situation and you haven't healed yourself from previous hurts and you've become maybe selfish. They say men are selfish a lot, so not trying to bust on you guys, but that's kind of what I heard. And so there's temptations of all kinds. So this would be a temptation of erasing another life, which no one has the right to do. Women do it when they have abortions. That's actually a real life inside of them. That's like a whole nother segment, right? But it's a temptation of murder. It's a choice of destruction or survival. Okay, so in other words, I've been in that predicament where I wanted to kill someone, and if you've been with me for a while, you'll know that I told my I didn't tell my second husband. Later I did, but I actually had, like in the movies, the devil was on my left shoulder. I didn't see him. Okay, I saw something on my left shoulder. When I glanced over, it disappeared, and it was like the cartoon, like the puffing sound, right? A puff. I don't know how to explain it, but... And in my head, it was a male's voice. Like, it wasn't my dad's, because my dad's deceased. It wasn't any male voice that I knew, but it said, go in the kitchen, get the 2 biggest knives, cut them up, you'll feel so much better. And I stood there frozen. And he sat on the couch, and I was standing there frozen for as long as it took me to just tell you that part, plus another 10 seconds because I was really contemplating it. He never got unfocused from the TV, unfocused from smoking his cigarettes, unfocused from drinking his beer. So it was like the devil was tempting my soul. The devil was trying to get me to do something that is like you can't undo, right? That's, if you murder someone, you can't unmurder them, right? And it would be something that you'd have to live with for the rest of your life. And depending upon what state you're in, you might get the death penalty. I don't know. I'm just telling you my story. But on my right shoulder, I saw something. And again, I glanced over. It disappeared. It was like puff, like a sound of puff. I can't explain that. It's like when you watch the cartoons, okay, and there's a little puff of something. I don't know. Anyways, so in my mind, it sounded like my mom's voice, and she said, go for a walk. And God divinely guided me out of his life. I walked 60 miles that week. I've been walking ever since. I love to walk. It's my peace. It's the time that I can connect with spirit. So we talked about karma. the integrity of self or greed. So there comes a time when you have to choose right for you. Do you want to be in the area of greed? Or do you want to be in the area of, I like money, but I don't want to lose who I am to receive money, right? You want to hold yourself at a higher standard, because other than that, everybody's out for greed, right? Everybody's out for money. You have to rise above that, because after you die, you don't get to take it with you. You take your spirit with you, okay? That's all you take. All right, so then we covered murder. So that would be like a selfish act, right? Of destruction, or choosing yourself to walk away from a situation that could have caused a lot of destruction. So I wrote it as a choice of destruction or survival. So then we talked about choosing yourself. When you commit to say, I'm not going to be a doormat, I'm not going to be a people pleaser. When I give something and receive nothing in return. Okay, so being a people pleaser, it empties you, because you don't get anything in return. It has to be an even exchange of energy, whatever it is, money, you get the picture, right? So it's committing to choosing what's right for you in the end. So the last one I have, let's see, let me put this card out. A lot of times people will see how your energy is, right? If you have a positive energy, if you are a pure, more so on a pure loving energy, people will gravitate towards you. What they'll do then is, if you're not, you're on the same page, as in you're on the same playing field, right? You've established a friendship with one or more people. So when they want you to do something that's really out of your character, they will manipulate you, and they will tell you things to get you to change how you view things. So you might see someone, right? Say you see this really handsome guy, right? And you love his energy. Well, when he sees you in that same energy, the people around will try to either screw with his mind, play with his ego, to pull him away from giving you that attention that you're giving him. And eventually, okay, you understand what I'm saying, right? If you're a girl, or whatever, girl, guy, girl, guy, girl, okay. But anyway, so if they can't energetically get you to walk away from him, they will go to him, and they will stroke his ego, and they will set it up to where they have all these people telling him the same thing about you that is untrue, right? Now, when it all comes to light, people are going to see you as this positive energy. They're never going to forget how so many people came against one person. They're never going to forget how you still stood 10 toes down. They're wondering, how is it that you made it this far? What they don't even put into their mind is the power of our Creator. Some of them probably don't, they might be atheists. They might be pretending to be God-fearing, God-loving people to get your person to turn away from you. They might be trying to tell your person that you're doing witchcraft on them. That's why they feel the way that they feel about you. when you're not doing anything. You're just trying to live your best life, trying to enjoy the time that you have in this world. You probably go into a lot of prayer. You probably go into a lot of meditation. You're probably thanking the good Lord for everything in your life, even the bad things, because the bad things taught you something. You understood. You grew from it, right? So God has put you in these predicaments, not to hurt you, but sort of like God is using you to bait people. Okay? You might be very beautiful, very attractive, very charismatic, but your soul is really pure, right? So God brings you around and puts you in different places, and it gives people the opportunity to make a choice. Am I going to be jealous of this person? Am I going to hate this person? They're so likable. They're so innocent. Then you probably reflect things in them that they don't have, because they've never been taught to go through the healing process. Maybe they've never had like a bloodline of prayer warriors, whatever it is, it's like God knows that you can handle whatever He's putting you through. So He can give other people to either be a Judas, or be a David, be a John the Baptist, or be a Noah, to be, I don't know all the characters in the Bible, but you see, it gives people the opportunity to embrace you or to hate you. And what did they say about Judah? He was warned 3 times, or he lied on Jesus 3 times, whatever it is. So the people who stand true to the belief that they hold inside, the good belief, those are the ones that power through. Those are the ones that, God is going to elevate. Even those who are destructive, they have a chance to make a change. They have a chance to do better with their lives. They have a chance to, maybe they're too embarrassed to apologize to you and say, hey, I'm sorry, I was in my ego and I said awful things about you, but truly it was because I was jealous, and I'm sorry I did that, right? Most people won't do that. Some people are blessed that they never have to do that, because they don't carry a jealous bone in their body. You could be like comfortable, right? But not wealthy in this world. So if your girlfriend says, yeah, my condo's paid for, my house is paid for, my car's paid for, and I have this and I have that, and you could be jealous of them if you want, but what good is that? All it does is knock on you, So you be thankful. Say, yeah, that's really nice. You deserve it, and mean it, right? And when you say it and you mean it, it means, to me, because I've said it and I've meant it, that people work for different reasons. She has earned everything, all the accolades that she gives herself. She has gone through the ringer like many others and survived. She has put herself in better positions to better her life. So I always say she's blessed for many reasons. Her mother was like a devout Catholic, and I feel like her mom must have said a lot of prayers for her family, because I really believe this friend of mine is truly blessed. But for me, I'm blessed in so many spiritual ways. I know that this world has much to offer me, but at what price? For me, and this is no judgment on where my friend is, okay? I'm just speaking. I give you an example of someone who's done well in their life and they're very deserving. And I feel honestly that her mother must have said a lot of prayers for her children, and her mother's prayers have been heard, okay? For me, I feel like my prayers have been heard. When I was around 8 years old, I've said the story too before, as I looked in my grandma's eyes, and her eyes were like blue. Asian women, right, when they get old, sometimes their eyes turn like a light blue. My grandmother's eyes were bluish, grayish. They were just beautiful. And I got real close up to her, and it's like my right eye was looking in her right eye. And I got real close up to her. I said, Grandma, I'm gonna look in your eyes. And she just looked. She didn't blink or anything. And my right eye was looking in her right eye. And when I pulled back, I said, Grandma, I said, your eyes are so beautiful. It's like heaven in there. And she's smiling. And I said, Grandma, you have hardly no wrinkles. I said, your cheeks are rosy and your skin's smooth. And when I backed away, I said, when I grow up, I want to be just like Grandma. I said, except the crippled part. So my grandmother was Pentecostal. My grandfather was Catholic. My grandmother used to be Catholic, but she switched up. And it was right for her. And my grandparents stayed together forever till they died, and I'm sure in spirit they're together. But what I say is, I always felt like my grandmother told the truth. She said actually two things. She said the world's going to end in the 80s. This was in the 70s. My grandmother passed away in 84. So for her, this world ended in the 80s. I think she might have said in the late 80s, but I can't confirm or deny. Anyway, so she also said, only in her church can people find salvation. And for me, her saying that was true for her, because wherever she went, God was always with her. Okay, so my last card. So I just want to tell all of you that celebrate who you truly want to be in life. Take time and meditate and speak to Spirit. I promise you, when you say, Dear Lord, I'm ready to take the leap of faith and really mean it, watch for the signs. 2024. Actually, I've been seeing a lot since 2019, but I've seen some real karma hit some people in this 2024. And it's an even number, so it's a year of balancing out. So those who have committed these horrible karmic debts against themselves, they have to realize that they not only karmically hurt their ancestors, right? Because if you honor your ancestors, you wouldn't be doing those negative things. So, like energetically, I guess, you are affecting not you, whoever's doing bad, choosing bad, um, greed over love, um, um, selfishness over being righteous. When God knocks on your door, you're going to answer the door, you're not. If you don't answer, then you're going to be in the worldly. You can't elevate into spirituality until you answer the door, right? Choosing what's right for you versus choosing what's right for everybody else. If you realize that, the saying, what's that saying? You'll make some of the people happy all the time, all of the people some of the time, blah, 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 blah. Whatever that saying is, choose what's right for you. Set your boundaries. Stand your ground. It doesn't have to be a fight issue. If people don't respect you, to let you live your life. I always told my daughter, I said sometimes it doesn't matter what mommy wants. Sometimes it doesn't matter what daddy wants. Sometimes it matters what you want. You are number one. And if you're not hurting yourself, if you're not hurting anyone else, then you do whatever it is that you're doing. And I'm so blessed that she really remembers all those things I told her, which really wasn't a lot. It was kind of, say, like, I don't know how to explain it. Alphabet soup. You can open up a can of alphabet soup and you can get a lot of things out of the can, right? But those true statements that I was blessed to have instilled in me, I instilled it into my daughter. And I just want to say that I want to thank my grandma, really both my grandmas, even though my dad's mom was not very nice. It was what she agreed to do so that other people could learn from it and choose different. My mom's mom was like an angel, and I could never see anything wrong in anything she ever said or did, because it was all about Jesus and God for her, and family and love. And I want to thank my mom. I was only blessed to have her for almost 12 years. But I say thank you, Mom. And I say thank you, Grandpa, for cooking all those good soups for those hobos off the train. When the train stopped at the carrot factory, my grandpa would go down and get the hobos and feed them. And often I would be at their house and my grandpa would be making all these soups. And I eat a lot of soups now, and I don't have a recipe. I just kind of make it. So I want to thank my grandfather for that. And my dear sister Tanya, who took care of my grandparents. I say I'm sorry I wasn't really there for your children. I just was in fear. And And I thank you, Tanya, for loving and caring Grandma and Grandpa for your whole life. And I say thank you, Terry, my other sister, for teaching me some things that Mom didn't have time to teach me. That your words, although I didn't understand them, I guess at the time, I put them to good use. So that's the end of my reading. I say, God bless you all. Dive deep into what's right for you. We don't know when our last day is. So if God's knocking on your door, answer it. I still have so much work to do here. I'm here to try to help you all understand whatever it is that you're going through. That sometimes you feel like you're alone. Sometimes you feel like there's no one to talk to, no one has time for you. Well, I'm here to tell you that I'm here for you. And I don't know. I'm just here to try to help people, and to know that love is always the right choice. And for example, if you're with people who want to manipulate you, that's not love. If you're with people who are freely with you, I actually had someone tell me that they were promiscuous because they were sexually assaulted. And my answer was, oh, I'm sorry you went through that, but I never saw you as promiscuous. I just thought that you were, searching for something. You were experimenting in life to know what you want and what you don't want, kind of thing. And I'm the last I'm the last person that's going to judge anybody. And the people that know that you're not going to judge, they're the ones that's going to be, I'd say, the ones that, if you say that you're not a judgmental person, okay, and people already have some sort of vendetta against you, then they will automatically start nitpicking you to death, like judging everything about you. Because if you already said you're not going to judge, then you're not going to turn back and say, well, you said this about me, so I'm going to say this about you, and what you're saying about me is not true, but what I say about you is true. And then it turns into this big vicious cycle. That's, my energy's not even worth sharing that with anybody. So I say, whoever wants to be judgmental, that's between you and God. God hears, sees, and knows everything. And I know that, if I leave my windows open at night, sometimes I like to because the fresh air, I know that I'm always going to be safe. I know that there's a halo around my house, right? It's like an invisible force field. God knows how I feel about life. God knows, and He has seen that I've gone through a lot of things so I could help other people be better. People don't even know half of the things that I've gone through in my lifetime. I actually started my autobiography, and well, my dad had got lost, so I have to redo. So that's another thing I have to focus on. So tomorrow I'll give you a regular reading, and I hope you like the shorts, because they're kind of nice. Anyways, God bless you all, and know for sure that you are never alone. And I tell you from my heart, you go into a place of meditation, of solitude, of being by yourself, walking in sand, walking, hiking, going into the ocean, just doing something good for you. And once you do that, you get out there and you say, oh my God, what a beautiful day. Thank you for a beautiful day. I really needed this. And you tell God what you're going through. You tell God how you're feeling. You say the words, God, come into my life. Come into my soul, God, because only with you am I fully protected. Only with you can I give a testimony of true love in my life. Or whatever it is that you feel like telling God, you just tell him, come into my soul, come into my life. Invite him into your home. And he will guide you out of whatever darkness you might feel that you're in. The truth be known, there's darkness all around us. Some of them cloak as good Samaritans. Some of them cloak as loving people. But when you see them for who they are, you have to make a choice to keep them in your life or separate from them. The people who cloak themselves will teach you how to cloak yourself, to teach you how to be on the negative side of your life. Choose to be on the positive side of your life. Anyways, karma is very important. So the more good you do, the more good you get back. The more bad you do, that's another thing. It might not say for me, okay? Say I do something really critically bad, right? Really, really, really bad on purpose. It might not come back to me, but it might go to my daughter. It might go to my dog. It might go to someone else out there that I really love. Why would I want to do bad? And people sometimes say, she's too good to be true. She can't be that innocent. She can't be that sweet. She can't be something who I am. Right? I feel like a lot of you must feel the same way. You try to do good, especially the guys. I think so many women want the bad boys, right? And there's good guys out there. Good-hearted guys out there. You say, where are you? Anyways, know that the right one's out there for you. And know that go through your healing processes that you feel like you need to heal. Put the energy out there that I'm healing, I'm healed, I'm committed to healing myself through these bad things that I've gone through in my life. Bad situations, bad relations, bad family ties, bad business deals, bad this, bad that. And here I am, talking to you about finding myself with the Lord, our Creator, Spirit, the Most High, Source, the Son. God bless you all. If no one has told you today that you are loved, I love you. And let's thank God that we have the opportunity to come together for this special reading about karma. Choose what's right for you. Always let it be known. I'm not a selfish person, but I hold myself high, and I will not bend my will to anyone but the Lord. Amen. I love you. Bye.